Hi, my name is Susan Bradford, and I'm a member of the San Juan County Textile Guild. I'm here today to interview my good friend, Jean Henson, who is one of the most prominent members of the Guild, a mainstay of the Guild, a past president, and a winner of our highest honor, the Golden Fleece Award. Hi, Jean.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. So the first thing I'd like to ask you is how have you been doing during this time when we've all been so isolated from each other?
Sometimes I think it's not different than winter. Um, it it just seems like you go outside and it's hot, but so many times in the winter we have these periods of time where we're all in the house and you don't see many people. And sometimes it just seems like that we've not gotten out of winter. But I have to say that my husband and I both are maybe all of us kind of moved to these islands to be somewhat isolated, not from everyone, but from kind of from the world. Um, I grew up as a city girl, Houston, LA. We moved up here not long after we'd been married, a few years from LA, and we moved from a city with a 2-year, and we had a 2-year-old, and we moved to Sultan, Washington, which was kind of the end of the world. It was a very small town with loggers and dairy farmers, lovely people. They thought we were a little odd maybe, but we came to know them. But it was quite isolated out there. We had a little farm horse ranch, and it was pretty isolated. It took a while to meet other people, and so we did well. We also were sailors most of our lives, and we spent lots of time on a sailboat at anchor someplace up in Canadian islands, and that can be pretty isolated. But we do well alone. We're still together after 53 years of marriage, and um, maybe we're going to have a few more. Maybe not quite this togetherness, but we're doing well. And as far as we're staying well. We really don't do anything except go to the market every couple of weeks, and to the post office. We don't get our mail delivered, so we do have to go there. We're wearing masks. We stay away from other people. Totally miss my daughter and granddaughter, who live fairly close by over on the mainland, and my daughter's my granddaughter's at university. We talk often, FaceTime. I miss them. I really, really miss them. That's what hurts in my heart, it seems like, because you're missing this time that you could be face to face with, in my case, children and grandchildren. But for others, it seems like there's just those close connections that sometimes just a computer screen doesn't quite do it. But that's what we have for now, so we make the best of it.
Right, exactly. That's what we're all doing. And so how do you think it's been affecting your creative energy?
Um, I would say that maybe my attention span, I start something and then I want to do something else. But I'm not too sure that's COVID virus. When I look at my drawers, my closets, my shelves in the garage, there's a lot of unfinished projects that I could start up. So I can't really blame that, I think. It's nice to have those things because you can't just run off to the store and
Mhm.
find something else to do. I've never been terribly good at ordering things off the internet. I guess there's a few staples that I am getting a little better at doing that. And to me, I'm guessing creativity is that you just have to start doing it. I'm finding that I can plan in my mind and I don't actually do those things. But if I just pick up something and start doing it, I'm happy with that for at least for a few days. I'm a weaver. I've got lots of looms. I've got lots of yarn. Um, there's not going to be any creativity unless I just sit down at one of them and start doing something.
Mhm. Yep, that's the truth, isn't it? Well, do you have anything that you would like to show us?
I have been working on something. One of the things I did at the beginning of this, I joined a needlepoint club. Um, and this was down at Edmonds. It was going to be my reason for going to the city once a month. We got a new canvas every month, and I thought I'll meet these lovely ladies, and we'll sit and we'll stitch. Well, that didn't quite work out. So every month I get a canvas in the mail, and I figure out how to do it on my own. These are Christmas ornaments, and there's supposed to be 12 of them total. For some reason, we haven't gotten July yet, but this is the first 6 months of the year. Tiny beads, tiny stitches. I've never done this kind of needlepoint before. It's looking pretty good though. So now I just have to learn
That's
to
looking
make them.
beautiful.
I now have to learn to make them into ornaments. So, and then I'm a weaver. So can I show you some of the, let's see what I've got.
Yeah, absolutely. Please show us.
Loom now. I put a warp on the loom. You can see hopefully all these bright colors. This is the warp for those of you who are not weavers. And then I took one of the colors from the warp and started weaving. This is it doesn't look like much on the loom. It's a tea towel, and when you wash this particular structure, when you get it off the loom, it makes a lot of bumps. It's called waffle weave, so that's kind of what it looks like once it's just all cotton yarn. And so I did that with one of the colors. And see how it changes things. See, this warp is the same, but look at the difference.
Yeah, it's quite amazing.
And I finished, and then I finished that one I just showed you, and now I'm starting it in a blue-green color. So I'm using what I have out on the shelves in we call it my loom room. It's my old garage, actually. So it's not a lovely finished studio, but it works for me. And yeah, so I'm using what I have, and hopefully I will have these off to hand out to people later on. Anyway, so that's
lovely. And they seem quite intricate to me. As a non-weaver, I'm very impressed by them.
Well, that's what we do. We weave to impress. I'm one of those people that when we were at the ranch, and I had a little vegetable garden for the first time in my life, I loved the planning. I loved the ordering the seeds. I loved laying out my garden exactly how it would be. In the summer, we'd go sailing, and we never got any of the products of it. I love designing a warp. I like putting it on the loom. After I've woven 2.5 of these now, and I had done a couple earlier. So yeah, I'm ready to start something new.
Good. I can't wait to see what comes next. So
I'm finding things to do, and as far as the isolation, I don't know how I would be handling it if I didn't have gatherings of various groups, my guilds, and I went to a Zoom picnic the other day.
Oh, that's hilarious.
From the Wendy Weavers group. So.
Right. Well, that's actually the last question that I wanted to ask you, was because you have been one of the people who've been coming most regularly to the every 2-week meetings that we've been having on Zoom for the Guild members. And so I wondered if you had any comments about those meetings and how they're affecting you, if they're affecting you.
I feel that I really need them. Maybe I didn't come to the first one. I thought, no, they're just going to grumble about all the bad things that are happening, and I will too then. And no, it's not like that at all. I think they're very inspirational, and I'm thoroughly enjoying them. Sometimes I'm just a listener. Maybe I don't want to show what I'm doing because I probably haven't done anything. But it inspires me. I always get up from those meetings and I go do something. It's, I pick up a ball of yarn or a knitting needle, or I go out to a loom, or I get my little tiny beads out and start sewing more beads on those ornaments. They're getting pretty heavy now. I truly don't know, because we have had them and we've almost had them all along. I am not a computer person, so I'm learning how to do these things. Yeah, I can't say that I would be doing nearly as well as I am if we didn't have things like those group meetings with
Yes.
everyone sharing that kind of have the same interests, but sometimes we're so far apart, we're not even all here in the islands, and yet we're still able to share. And it's going on everywhere, so it's not just us. We're not in a little isolated group that, well, woe is me, I can't do what those other people are doing. They can't do it either.
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I worry about my friends. I think I worry about my friends more than I worry about me. I want them to be okay when this is over. I want to have them around me.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm old. I need people.
We all need people, no matter whether we're old or young. But this experience has made them even more precious, I believe, to us. So yeah.
But I
Anything else
thank
you
you.
want to add, or?
Well, no, I just want to thank you and the group that you're working with. That right now, I should be planning that lovely retreat that we were going to go to and all be so happy and working together. Yeah, so I'm kind of missing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is pretty good. This
Mm-hmm.
is pretty good, and I just want to thank that the group that you're working with and taking the time to do this.
Yeah, well, I thank us all for taking the time to do it. And I thank you for taking the time to do this today. This is great.
Oh, we are welcome. I'm looking forward to seeing the other interviews.
Yes, good, good. Check them out. So, honey, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next Zoom meeting.
You too, Susan.
All right, bye, Jean. Thanks again.
Bye. Thanks all of you for listening to us.